class. I wanted to talk a little bit about dictionary and list comprehension, mostly in the context of just list comprehension because it's simpler, but dictionary comprehension is a pretty straightforward extension. The problem that I'll do is finding numbers that are both perfect cubes and perfect squares. So that means a number like 64, 64 to the 1/2 power, or the square root of 64 is 8, and 64 to the 1/3, the cube root, is 4, basically. So 64 is both 8 squared and 4 cubed, so it can be expressed as a power, some integer to the power of 3 and some other integer to the power of 2. So we're looking for numbers that can be expressed in that way. So first we have a function here to determine whether a number is an integer. Now you notice that when I do this, floating point precision math, 64 to the 1/3, the cube root is 3.99, repeating with a 6 at the end. But I can determine with my handy dandy function, which you can look at if you want, but it doesn't really matter for this exercise how it works. But I can check, is that an integer? And I can just pull that in here. Oops. Spelled that wrong. Is an integer? True, yes. Is a number like 2.5 an integer? No. Is 2.9 an integer? It doesn't satisfy the tolerance that I've specified here, so it has to be within 0.0001 of an integer. So let's go ahead and write a function that's, or just some commands that try to find all of the perfect cubes, numbers that can be expressed as squares of integers and cubes of integers from 0 to 20,000 or something like that. So how would I do it? Well, let's create an empty list first of all. And we'll write a for loop. Let's pretend we don't know about list comprehension yet. We'll say for our integer I in range 20,000, and what we're going to do is test them. If our number I is, if we take the square root, if that's an integer, and if we take the cube root, is that an integer? Then go ahead and add it to our list. Otherwise, don't. That's pretty much it there. And let's see what we get. Oops, print x. Alright, so all these numbers, let's just verify this big number here. 15, 625. Let's look at the cube root. Alright, and the square root, 125. So it is both a cube root, a perfect cube, and a perfect square. Now the point is, if we have a for loop like this that's generating some sort of list, we can turn it into a list comprehension expression so that instead of taking up 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, we can get it to be in just one line. So I will create another variable y that's going to hold our list. Instead of creating an empty list, I can put some stuff inside our list. I'm just going to I can just copy and paste the for part of the loop. I can copy and paste the if part as well. And all I need to do is say what I want to be in the list. I want I. All the i's, for all the i's in this range, if it satisfies the conditions. And print y. So the point is that basically, if you think that you can, well, if you can write a for loop, then it might be possible to turn it into a list comprehension if it's something simple like this. And all you need to do that is copy and paste basically. If you want to write a list comprehension, go ahead and write out the for loop, and then copy and paste the appropriate conditions, and then you'll have your list comprehension.